Says we're live.
And we're live from New York.
All right. Great. All right.
Oh, hey guys. Didn't even see you there. How's it going?
Okay. And I got to do one thing here. Get rid of my echo.
And this is
okay. And what is it, the 20th?
Yes, it is.
It's March 20th. Tomorrow's Sadie's birthday. I'm Chris.
Oh, happy birthday, Sadie. I'm Charlie.
And we are.
8-balling. Oh, I got the 8-ball right here. All right, hang on.
Yeah, so we got the
This way.
the old studio, or the standard studio, and Charlie superimposed over his own old spot. So
Which is the way it should
we
be.
just float him right in. I think that's cool. Just put
I
you
think it
right
is
where you
cool.
belong. All right, man.
In the corner.
So, in a way, I did no show prep, and in a way, we did a ton of show prep, just get through the week.
Just living. Right.
What day did you start working at home?
1 week ago today.
Oh, you did. So
Friday.
that's when I started.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said they sent you home.
13th. Yeah.
So did they say take your laptops you're working from home and like hand you
They set us up with all this shit. They were literally take the computer off your desk, and then they just gave everybody monitors and the other tech that they needed.
So they
It was like an assembly line.
They gave you stuff you hadn't had.
Right.
I got to I think I
Thousands
got
of people.
thousands. Wow. I think I have to turn myself down a little. Can you turn yourself up a bit?
Yeah. Louder.
There we
Loud?
go.
That's pretty loud.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, we should be good. We should
Okay.
be good. All right. Check. Give me
Check.
one more. Yep. Okay.
Check.
That's impressive. Thousands. Did you even know?
No, they it was boom, like that. We're gone.
So
It was pretty cool.
they prepared this. Nobody knew anything about it. Here you go. They were ready, and it all works.
They sort of phased it in. So it was certain level of essential employees work from home on Wednesday, Thursday sit in the next level, and then Friday, the most important people that need to be in the office to work, like myself, they were like, all right, boom, you guys are out too. Here you go. Bam. Get the fuck out.
Oh, so there had been other people migrating home before this.
But we thought that we were going to be having to stay, yeah. Like my job, my role,
Interesting.
which is approximately 4,000 people, yeah.
Interesting. You know what? I'm looking at the eagle. We could put your globe back there, and you would still have it.
Oh, yeah, it would be right there. Yeah. Damn. Globe
Damn.
is right here still. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spin.
This looks a lot like you're here, though. I like it.
It does. I'm like, this is fun. But wait,
You know
dive
what,
right in.
You know what the show's
Wait, what?
reminding me of right now? That Saturday Night Live parody on NPR where it's really boring, and they're making sweaty balls with Alec Baldwin. Do you remember that?
No, what?
It was very.
I don't know that.
It was just a parody on how boring NPR is. All right, so
funny.
you wanna look at news that's not coronavirus and the economy crashing real quick?
Sure, we can do a little bit, but I think that that's interesting too.
It is. I'm just gonna bang through. Actually, most of the headlines are that stuff. But so Cuomo shutting down New York. European corporate bond market shows muted signs of revival. Walmart is going to pay $550 million in bonuses to workers, and they're hiring 150,000, and Amazon's hiring 100,000. So, interesting.
Damn.
Military bases are adjusting. When plastic bags get the sack, they actually did an article on plastic versus paper.
For the coronavirus?
No, just in general. No.
Someone cares about that right now?
No, do you remember last show, like 3 days before, there was the J-Lo article in the Wall Street Journal?
There's like nothing, right? That's what I'm saying. They're
Like trying to be hot
the
and
merits
be
of
50.
plastic versus paper. Right.
Yeah, New York City coronavirus cases more than double. Not good.
I saw that.
Mass Transit Authority employees are infected. Yeah, testing chaos. Then nursing homes. Then that's tragedy. That's bad.
Yeah,
news.
that's awful.
All right. Get us going.
I am having fun adjusting to the work from home shit. I am so unbelievably lonely. It's sad. It's like I get all cooped up, and it's like, you know, I'm working for 11 or 12 hours a day, whatever, but it's like even people you talk to, I just like need to be around a body sometimes. It's
Well,
really weird. And like, yeah.
I think we're wired that way. I mean, we're social beings, right? It's formed tribes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my mom stopped over today and brought me some shit. There's a rumor going around that they're gonna do a national shutdown. So
I heard about that. Yeah.
she stopped by. She had groceries that she hadn't brought over. I'm trying to totally avoid going out. But yeah. So I saw her. But I was telling you, there's, you know, that park across from the community college down the street? I don't get out of the car. I just go there. And
I was going to ask. Yeah.
I went there today, and I had to stop at a store that brought me out some stuff. And I drove down to Heritage Park. And I used to stop there on my way home from work if I needed to gather myself during the whole Sherry thing. So I've had a gauge on how many cars are there. Today in both parks, more cars than usual for a weekday. So people are going out and walking. It was interesting. You want to know one of the takeaways? Me being my potentially judgmental self, while I was there, and I was there, I don't know, I was there 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Two younger people pulled up. They met to take a walk. They were just friends. They took a walk. They were back. They got in the cars and left. The whole thing lasted 10 minutes. And I think they
like, that's enough nature for the week.
Well, I think they consider that exercise. And I'm like, guys. You know, and one was like average, but not fit. And one was more than average and really not fit. It was just interesting.
I wouldn't.
Look how
let me
shitty
explain
I'm
to you how
being
the young.
during this. All right, I'm all ears. How the young.
Oh, sorry. No. I was gonna say like how a young brain works. So like, we would go to the park, and then you're like, "This is cool." And then you're there for like 5 minutes. You're like, "This is fucking stupid." You're like, "There's nothing here to do."
It's so quiet.
And you're like, "All right, let's leave." And you're like, "Yeah, boom, that was it. Let's go to Taco Bell." That's how that works. They're like,
let's get Taco Bell and go home and play whatchamacallit? What's the game?
Nazi zombies.
No. Fortnite. Let's get T-Bone and go play Fortnite.
Fortnite's stupid as fuck.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, it's not stupid as fuck. It's fine. It's a game. You can do whatever you want. I just don't get it. I should say. Shouldn't judge.
Yeah, you don't go to football games either.
People judge me for that, so it's fine.
Right.
I don't fit in.
So how long would you stay at the park?
Probably about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. depending on what I was doing there. Like if I was with somebody, probably a few hours. But like if I was just there by myself with my dog, probably like, well, actually, even with my dog, it'd be another lap, probably an hour.
Yeah. These people drove up in separate cars. Pulled up. They were there 10 minutes. I'm like, why'd you bother?
I'm telling you, this is what happened. They were like, they're like, hey Chris, do you want to go to the park and like hang out? You're like, yeah, I'm fucking bored. I'm locked in my house. Let's do the park. And you're like, cool, let's go meet up. I'll see you there. They get there. They're like, all right, we're at the park now. What do we do?
Well, they
And then
went
they, like,
down.
walk around.
They
They're
went
like,
down a walking path. They were out of eyesight. Anyway,
did they
overboard.
return the same path or did they?
Yeah,
Oh, they
Yeah.
did. So they didn't do a lap.
I've never been down the path. I mean, it goes down terrain that I can't navigate.
You're talking
so
about
I'm not
Heritage
sure
Park?
if you go out. Yeah, yeah.
It's the lap is long. It's like 2 miles, I think.
Okay. So they
So,
did
like-
like a 500-yard out and back.
Or maybe they just went to go smoke weed and then go home. I don't know.
That could be.
That would be, I wouldn't be surprised. They're like, let's go fucking burn up, man. Yeah.
You know, with what's going on, maybe it's time to start smoking pot.
Drugs are bad.
Yeah. Well, relief is good.
Yeah.
Drugs are bad. Yeah, I guess I'm realizing I'm tired. I'm just tired. There's a lot of stress with this, just thinking about all this stuff, you know?
And yeah. And all day long, that's all I talk to people about. And like, what is it, 8:45? And I've been working since 8 a.m. So it's like, I do this, literally sitting in this chair, talking to you. Like, that's what I do, just talk to people. That's all day. All I do.
Are they stressed?
Some people are. You know, some people are like worried about the future. And then some people are like I usually make a joke about it. But it's going to get to a point where I can't make jokes anymore. So I'm trying to milk every bit that I can now. Be like, yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm locked away in my house.
Yeah, it's gonna get hard to joke about. It's because it's gonna. I mean, it's already ugly. It's gonna get closer to people soon.
The first casualty was jobs.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. They're writing these articles about how bad it's gonna be, and then when the NBA said we're done for, I forget what the first time period was, the first thing I thought was every arena in every big town has got to employ, you know, hundreds, if not 1,000 or more people.
Yeah.
Bars, restaurants around the arenas. They're not getting patronized now. I mean, there are bars around, you know, like Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. It's got hockey. It's got basketball. It's got concerts. Bam, gone. All those venues and everybody in that huge ass arena. And I'm thinking, you know, and these, you know, so if you're a cook, a waiter, waitress, parking cars, whatever, you know, those aren't jobs where you pile up cash reserves for something like this. You know, you go a week or maybe two and you're fucked. So right now people are fucked.
You're living on that.
And it's like it's a surprise. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah. I know, you know, talk about service industry, but I know people I went to high school with who are getting laid off from like jobs.
Yeah.
Like a job like mine, they're like getting fired. It's like we don't have, our production is going to tank and we can't like have any non-essential people working. The company can't handle it.
Yeah, and it's depending upon this, you know, curve flattening exercise. It's going to keep happening until, you know, I don't know how they make the decision that it's time to relax and make people feel free to move about and tell restaurants they can serve and all that. I mean, I can't see that happening in a week or two.
It won't, right?
Yeah.
Like those people are out of jobs.
And you know,
The stimulus check will help.
Yeah, for a couple weeks.
I mean, how long can you live on $1,000 though? Like, it's not that much money.
That's what I mean. So that's
Oh, I don't
tw-
even think weeks. I think like a
well,
week,
it would be 12 grand a
right?
year. It's tax free. Um, maybe yeah. It depends. It depends on your station in life. There are households that get by on 25 grand a year with two incomes. Two people
Wow.
making 12, 14, 15 grand a year.
How do you work and make that much money?
You wait tables, you wash dishes, you're short order cook. 12 bucks an
That's
hour is
amazing.
24 grand a year. Yeah, I guess maybe $1,000 isn't. Maybe that's just a week or two, or a week.
I'm just thinking like I could spend $1,000 on food this week, like if I was just not careful. Like I just like forgot how much I was spending, and I'd be like,
Like
oh,
at the
whatever, it's
grocery
gone.
store, what do you buy? Lobster tails and crab legs?
It's so funny that you say that because me and Gordy, my brother, last night went to the grocery store and just bought like a ton of ridiculous shit, like for no here. This is one example. For no reason, pirouettes. Why buy these? There was $7. I couldn't decide between French vanilla or chocolate hazelnut, so I bought both. Who cares? Whatever. Shit like
Well,
that.
yeah, yeah. I last week there was a laptop on Amazon. I was talking to you about the mobile kit, and the laptop
Yeah.
was such a good deal. And I'm like, if I don't buy
Yeah.
this, I'm gonna regret it. So I bought a
You're a
laptop,
schmuck.
and I'm using it
Why
now. I mean,
not?
coincidentally, I'm working, and then I can take the laptop and not have to be at my desk in my bedroom. So it's got that benefit. But I was like, kind of like you, like, fuck it. I mean, I'm trapped. I'm gonna buy a computer that I'm gonna get some little fun out of.
Like, think about it. I'm spending literally no money at all. It's only like Netflix is a subscription that I have. Compound Media. I buy gas now. Imagine during this whole thing, it's going to be once every 3 weeks. I'll probably buy gas,
Yeah.
and those are my expenses. That's it. I don't have rent because I live in this house. And then, I like what the fuck? I'm just gonna bank so much on this. I'm trying to buy a house. I
At the
figured
moment.
that. No, not right now, but the market's gonna tank.
Yeah. Everything's gonna tank. Everything's gonna tank. All right, we got to get
I
interesting
did think it was.
because everybody's thought about
Sorry,
this
go ahead.
shit. No. I'm just trying to think. Last week was interesting. But I don't know if people are tired of hearing about coronavirus, and I've learned more about it. But now we're just getting into you know the chemistry and the biology of the virus and how scary it is, and fuck, I don't want to talk about that.
I have some hot goss on that.
All right, lay it on me.
It's kind of confidential, but whatever. A friend of mine that works at a certain university, you might say that their chant. Let's
You
just
don't
say
need
that the same university that Block and Tackle comes from. Their hospital, they're doing the first clinical trials on it, and he's going to be on the team. And he's like, "We're fucking going, bro. Black site. They're out. They're going to
Clinical
take care
trials
of everything
on
and try to
antivirals,
coronavirus
or
testing. Yeah, some shit like that. I don't know.
well, they're all. I listened to who was it? I mean, they're all going. They're all going at light speed. Everybody's going at light speed. Every
Yeah.
lab that can do that kind of thing, they're all on this shit. And
Yeah.
it was wild. They were talking about literally hundreds of initiatives on vaccines and antivirals and whatever else there may be. And I don't even remember where I heard this. I don't know if it was a podcast or whatever. I was in the car. And the thing that went through my mind is that, they said, they're all working on the virus in the labs. Like, Hundreds of labs around the world have already gotten shipped. I'm presuming blood or plasma or,
Something, yeah.
whatever medium this virus comes in. But they need it. They need it in, in mutated form. And by the way, that's the word I couldn't think of last week. Mutated. Remember, I kept saying, "What's the word?" And I used morphed. Anyway, and I was just like, "Shit, they're FedExing this stuff around." It's kind of scary.
just imagine there's like gonna be an accident now, and it's like, oh my god, it's fucking everywhere. It's on the hood of my car. Oh my god! They're like the guys doing like the windshield to like wash it off, and it's just getting rubbed in more on his windshield. He's like, fucking god. Sorry.
No, it's all right.
This is gonna be a time to remember.
A time to remember. It's going to take us years to recover. This is going to be something we can't forget, I think.
You think years? So what makes you say that? See, that's the thing that I don't understand is like the gravity of the situation is like how much of an impact is this really going to have?
I don't see. So here's something that ran across my mind today. College football.
Yeah.
College football is 6 months away. Are we in 6 months going to be in a position where we literally put 110,000 people into something the relative size of a postage stamp? I do not.
Probably not.
Okay. So the entire service industry, part of it's going to be gone for a year or two. Movies. Yeah. Sporting events, the shit you do, bars, when they decide it's safe to open bars, I don't know if it's going to be 2 months or 6 months. Let's just say the middle of the summer. The air's flowing more, windows are open, it's warmer, maybe the virus doesn't respond as well like the flu, and it's semi-seasonal, and they say, all right, so tables are going to have to be, the closest one table to the other, they'll probably make them 6 or 8 feet apart. You're still going to have to do mitigating things to keep the curve flat.
Yeah.
And, but still, no concerts, no baseball games, no Tigers games this summer, no football in the fall. Again, like you said, the service industry. And I will tell you, I see myself being kind of a hermit for till there's a vaccine, or till they, if I get sick, then, and they are confident and convince me that you are immune, that's one thing. Right. But if I don't get sick and, the mortality rate proves to be, even if it's 1%, 1, 2, 3, 5%, I'll be like, fucking A, man. I like my house. I'll just hang out on my deck.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's funny. Like, part of me feels like if they just do the right shit up front, like if people just do the social distancing shit, the flattening the curve, whatever, it should peter out. And this is just a feeling, like I have no fucking idea. Like, I'm not a medical expert, nothing like that. But I feel like a month, like 30 days from now, you tell me at the end of April, we're still like under lock and key and like shit's all fucked up. It just seems hard like to believe it to me. It's just like
that we can't, through like responsible behavior, hand washing, covering your fucking mouth and all that, manage us. You would tend to think that, but fuck, look where we're at. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more to come. There's unknowns. There's just unknowns. And nobody's saying and this is wise and the right thing to do. Nobody's saying we are going to we're going to tell businesses to open back up on, day X. They are not. Right. They're not even saying end of April. Some people will
Until
say, well,
further notice. Yeah.
cautiously optimistic that maybe by summertime or whatever. Yeah, but they're being smart, saying very little. But so what happens?
Yeah.
So they say, okay, so let's say it's football season's gone. I mean, that's a lot of business. That's a lot of television ad revenue. TV's fucked. I mean, like NFL ad revenue, college football ad revenue, that's Saturday and Sunday. That's a lot of viewership. It's going to change the way things work for a while. So then what do you do? So just take U of M because it's close to me and what I think about, or just college football. You're not recruiting. Are high school kids going to play football next year? I don't know. Maybe the colleges play in open stadiums. Maybe that's viable. I mean, I could see that happening. At least the TV revenue would happen. But, all the bars and restaurants in Ann Arbor, in East Lansing, in Athens, Georgia, I mean, these places, it's going to take a long time. And all those, like you said, service industry jobs, if you're a waiter or waitress and you either supplement your family or that's your one job and you're a single mom or whatever, you're fucked. And here's something that's
That's what I was
surprising.
doing a year ago.
Yeah. So what if they said, okay, I mean, just say circumstances were different and that was your job and you had a girlfriend or a wife and a kid and she did, whatever. She was a mom and worked part-time as a greeter at Walmart. And they said, Charlie, we can't serve pizza anymore. It's takeout only. Goodbye. We're not doing greeters anymore. It's too much risk. Goodbye. You two are like, and I mean, if that's all you've ever done in your life, how do you shift gears? What are you going to do? You say, all right, I'm going to be, fill in the blank. What do you fill it in with? There's nothing.
You have to be creative. You might laugh at this, but for all you young women out there who are struggling for cash, like there's plenty of weird dudes online who are willing to pay a buttload of money to see pictures of your feet. It's like shit like that is like, I'm serious. You could seriously supplement your income with like foot fetish guys. You could totally make a bunch of money doing that.
Okay, so if the unemployment rate goes to 15%, and
oh my God,
they're saying it could go to 20, which was the Great Depression. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think they said it's already at 5%.
Wow.
So you don't. So what do you do? If restaurants are going to go out of business, a third, a half, 2/3. There's not a switch that you just flip and all of a sudden, boom. Is it Tomatoes? That's the name of the pizzeria, right?
Yeah, that was a pizzeria.
If it goes away, if half of them go away, when the economy starts to recover, you say, you know what, I'm going to open a restaurant. It takes a while.
Sorry, I forgot to plug the computer and it's dying.
Uh-oh.
Okay, there we go. No, we're good.
Yeah, it's just going to take a while. It's going to take a while.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean,
I
like, who knows? Maybe even like shit goes so bad that like my job, which is, I would say, at an all-time high, ironically, but if I get fired, what the fuck am I gonna do? Hang out? Like, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Here's what the company would do. They'd put me on leave. They'd be like, we don't need you right now. You come back when shit's regular.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the thing is, again, with this disease, when is that? When is that?
Like I said, it just seems weird. Like, I don't think it'll last more than a couple months. But like, why do I think that, and why am I saying? I have no reason to believe that, other than just what I'm seeing.
Well, let's say that's true. I mean, but in a couple of months, it's not over. In a couple of months, this like super exponential rate of infection, let's say again, and it's gotten to the point where it's just a cliche word, but if it flattens, we're going to have hospitals, we're going to have families that are nursing sick family members for a year and a half. Who knows?
This wipes us out.
It's a game changer. Did you watch my
Here's the
little 10-minute solo episode last night?
I was gonna watch it after we did this tonight, just because I've
It's
been
it's
working literally all day.
pretty. It was late at night, and I was like very contemplative, and it was dark and quiet, and I just got online and got really personal about it. It was just this is a game changer. What I said last night, a big message last night was, I think one of the things this is going to change is hopefully, in the short term, I think what's going to change is people are going to value family and friendship and love and closeness and good things more. I talk to my brother more than I've ever talked to him. I feel closer to him right now than I have in 20 or 30 years. So, I mean, that's good. What do? You lean on friends and family. Outside of 8 Ball, and I've talked to you more times in the last week and a half than ever.
Yeah.
And your dad and other friends of mine just calling up, texting, hey, you all right? Everything okay? Cool. Stay safe.
Yeah, it's yeah.
I mean, that's the upside. You're going to get closer to the people you love. The hard part is some of us are going to lose some people we love or be close or lose people we are close to. I mean, we did the numbers last week, and conservatively, it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Still makes me nervous. And I'll get through it financially. I mean, it may change the trajectory of the rest of my life, but I don't see myself, losing my house or not being able to do what I want within reason. But there's a lot of people who there was a thing that came out. A lot of people who aren't that fortunate. A thing that came out. It's like 3-4 years ago. It was during the summer, and they said it was like over 90% of Americans at all levels of income don't have enough savings to get them through. I think it was like a month. Everybody just spends what they make in America.
I talk to Americans all day long, and especially in regards to their finances, and I can very much tell you from a first-person point of view that is in fact the case. No one has shit.
But if you're like, all right, I'm going from making, let's say you make 200 grand a year, and you go 400 grand a year, and you're like, now I can move from a BMW 3 Series to a Mercedes AMG, and I can move from a $300,000 house to a $750,000. I mean, there's people that do that. They're just like, fuck, how far can my money get me? How big can the house be? How fancy can the car be? How many more times can I go to, fucking Morton's or Capitol Grill or whatever your vice is? And it just seems like water seeks its own level, and everybody just maxes it out, and you're confirming it.
This is the thing that me and my brother were talking about, and like we did the episode on like finance. It's like everybody is just at leveraging credit at some point. It's all that is everyone is like in debt, and they're just trying to stretch the debt as much as possible if they're like to better their own life. Very few people like own shit, It's all like community.
Yeah, Yeah. So this gets they think better their life. I don't. Did I ever tell you my destiny man theory?
No.
I got a good friend, very driven guy. He's lived a life where he's told himself, "I'll be happy when," and it's been a number of things at the end of that sentence. And I think it's like a house in Birmingham, uh, a supermodel, or former supermodel wife, and
Yeah.
and
Former
he's very,
supermodel.
very driven, very driven, and he achieves these things, and I see him, and he gets there, and he's like, "Huh, not enough," and he just keeps doing it, and I'm like, it's not the house, it's it's the journey,
People
it's
who are
not
in
the
it.
destiny.
Yeah.
One of the things I said last night was, yesterday was the first day I went to this park, the closest park. And I'm just in the lot. So this lot, it's unpaved. It's actually a nice place to just kind of hang in the car, grab some lunch, get in the car. Stay safely tucked in the cocoon of the windows up car.
Of the Cadillac. You're just like scrolling by.
Yeah, that's my nature walk. So there was this couple, and they looked young again. And I don't know if they were, mid 50s or whatever.
Oh, as in they were old. Okay, I see.
No, they weren't. I mean, if I'm old, then they're old. But they,
But you're saying not young, right?
not young. No, they weren't like, newlyweds or
Right.
30-somethings. They were older, and they looked peaceful and happy. It was weird. It was weird. Yeah, they got the fuck out of Dodge, went to this park that's just, the park across from OCC. That's just a place to go and walk. There's nothing else to do other than go and walk through thick woods. So it's
Smoke
just
weed.
someplace you go and decompress. And this couple
Yeah.
just looked, I mean, they weren't like laughing and joking and smiling, but they just looked relaxed and good. It was good to see. It was refreshing. So I think, so I got two prongs going on here. One is, I think what's going on is going to hit some reset buttons in people where it's like, you know what? Stuff isn't important. And stuff isn't going to be the option to the degree it had been, I think, moving forward, at least for some time. It's going to be a couple years, at least. And then, the I want a bigger house, right? I want the fancier car.
Yeah.
I want the M Series. I want the AMG. I want the, and, take it down a notch. I've always bought used cars. I want a new car. I've always bought Chevys. I want a Cadillac. Whatever. People just seem to, again, just rise to the level of whatever their income can top them out at. And it doesn't.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting thing, and this might be a good gear shift. It doesn't make you happy, but they say money can't buy you happiness. I break down how you're doing in life into two categories. Are you content? And are you, quote unquote, happy? Are you having fun? So contentment is, you got your health, your family's reasonably healthy, you can pay your bills, there's not a lot of stress. So you have peace of mind that, nothing's wrong, nothing's off the rails. And you can be content and not necessarily be, there's plenty of people who are in that situation, but they're depressed or they're unfulfilled or whatever. So then there's kind of the happy part of it. And this kind of gets back to, we didn't talk about it much, but I said briefly one time, everybody needs a thing. You need a thing. It can be anything. Collecting stamps, photography. And photography can just consist of taking pictures with your smartphone and putting them on Instagram. Or, big things, skiing, running, marathoning, shit. And some of this shit's free. There's some very serious hobbies, like fitness hobbies, that do not cost a lot of money. But people don't do that. I mean, there are some people, their things, I guess, gaming. There are a lot of people, that's their thing. But I'm talking like something that fulfills you. I just noticed something. On the top of my little money, good fortune frog, there's a little yin-yang symbol on his head. Anyway, it's tiny.
Squirrel.
Sorry. I got accused of that today. Awesome. I just got accused of that today.
Really?
I was in the car talking to a friend of mine. And I forget, and she watches the show. And we were having a conversation about shit that's going on. Her dad's having some health issues. And I just went totally tangential. And when I was done, she goes, "Squirrel." So you're the second person today, squirrel.
There's like a little yin-yang thing on my frog.
Well, I was just staring at it. I'm like, how the fuck did I not notice that? Anyway. I don't even remember what I was talking. Oh, happiness. So here's the thing, though. If you can't pay your bills, you can't have contentment. Well, I'm glad you're amused. Keep laughing.
Sorry,
it's good.
That was great.
No. It's good. It's good. And no matter how shitty things are right now, I mean, neither of us are in a shitstorm. So, hey, let's 8-ball and have a laugh if we can. So if you can't pay your bills, or if you're really, really struggling, even to have an apartment or, a modest house, or like a, super modest house, and you're just, and this dwarfs it. It almost doesn't make sense right now to say this, but, you're one bad incident away from losing your job or whatever, then the contentment part is tough. The contentment and the happiness is kind of like the cake and the icing. And then, so with regard to money buying happiness, well, what if you can afford to take a trip to Hawaii? And you're going to go to Hawaii for 2 weeks. And every day you're going to do a luau, right? You're going to do a luau, and you're going to do and let's say you've got some dough to spend on this vacation. You're going to take the helicopter ride that goes up and down, looking at the waterfalls, and one day you're going to take surfing lessons, and for 2 weeks you are just entertained to the hilt. Those 2 weeks, you're probably going to forget about whatever was bothering you, if anything was bothering you, and you're going to be happy.
Until they extradite you back to the United States.
Right.
With this.
Well, right. My little theory, the confines of the game, until you got to go back to the game.
Yeah.
And then, go to work doing something that I don't think most people truly like their job to the point where if it paid less or didn't pay at all, that they'd do it. So you go back to the grind. You go back to the game. But again, if you have the money where once a month you can, go up north, and if it's in the summertime, you rent a place and you go boating or paddleboarding or whatever, whatever floats your boat, or skiing, or
water,
or you can afford Tiger season tickets. You go to a Tigers game 2 times a week. You catch a game during the week and one of the whatever. If you have
Not
that,
right now.
Right. But if you have that, you're entertained and your mind comes off. And I think, money can certainly make you unhappy. And money can absolutely, it can buy, I would say an accurate way to put it it can at the very least buy diversion. And generally, if you're diverted, you're forgetting about what's bugging you, which is kind of what happiness is.
Isn't that what a vacation is? Yeah, it's like you
Yeah,
work your ass off 350 days a year, so you can take 15 days off to fuck around and do whatever you want with all that hard-earned cash.
but if you're doing it right and you have the resources, whether it's money or, if your thing is like running and training for marathons, again, it's free. So it kind of depends. But if, you can take a vacation theoretically. If vacation isn't necessarily getting on a plane or getting in a car and going someplace and being somewhere different. A vacation can be something you do after work on a weeknight, going to the gym. If you go to a nice gym, you do a workout, you go to, what's the huge one? Lifetime Fitness, and they got a juice bar and all that shit, and you do that and you hang out, and there's some people you see there regularly, and that's having a thing, and that costs money, and that makes you happy.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's like maybe semi-psychotic. The money is tied directly to my happiness. I could be working 12 hours a day, as long as there's a couple zeros at the end of my paycheck. I'm fucking happy.
Yeah, but you're
it's as sad as that is.
That's making you happy though, because that's your scorecard, and you're saying,
yeah,
my effort was fulfilled. Right? That's the contentment part. And you can be content and still be happy. Right? But you can't be happy you can't put icing on an air cake.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Right. Because at some point you're not spending the money at all, and it's like, why did you bother?
But I mean, if you have a really good cake, you can be happy with that too.
Yeah.
And occasionally you do the diversion. And you've got things. You like to ski. You like to hunt. You've been working your ass off. You haven't done much of anything to please yourself. But I mean, you are, relatively speaking, kind of a noob, lower on the totem pole, and you gotta be at a certain level until, you're doing what you do when you're in your, mid-20s, mid-30s. I mean, you're working your ass off to establish yourself so that at some point you can take a breath and... Anyway. But your measure is... Your measure is that check, and you're like, hey, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So, that makes perfect sense.
And the thing that kills me... No, you're right, yeah. And the thing that kills me is the... first of all, doing nothing was fine when I worked in the office, because I could just go to the office and I have there's 100 of my closest friends are just right there. They're all great people that I enjoy. We're in the same position, like same field. It's good to be around them. And now I'm like doing nothing and doing nothing, like not in the office. It's like a fucking, it's turning me around, but I'm going to get used to it.
I am already kind of getting used to it, which is...
I'm cooped up.
It was weird. I was thinking, I'm looking forward to it being Saturday. It's just going to be quiet around here. You do something different. You're a one-man show, kind of, right?
Yeah.
I have 4 conference calls. I'm firefighting. Most of my job is putting out fires. So I have 4 conference calls a day.
That's a lot of my job.
Yeah, but it's different, right?
It is very different, yeah.
I have a house I'm taking care of, and there are all these little spot fires of different versions, and but so normally where you're at work and you'd see people, my boss did a good job, and I followed suit with direct reports and other support, corporations. And so I have 4, and I did this intentionally. I kind of staggered them. I have 4 conference calls a day: 9 a.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 4 p.m. So because I established that I'm not good at working at home a long time ago. There was a work at home job, the .com job, and I was younger, but I wasn't good at it, and it was sales, and it wasn't incoming sale, inbound, lead driven sales. It
Yeah.
was go find shit. And I found if I wasn't in an environment that said to me, you're at work, that I couldn't make it happen. But now I do. Now there's shit that just simply needs taking care of. But anyway, the structure, it starts at 9, it ends at 4. I can't escape it. And the phone rings and the emails come in, and so it's already taking on its shape and its form. And me too. Last Friday, I think I told you I was on my way into work, and one of the guys who's on our team, what's the team name? Anyway, was like, dude, you're fucking high risk. Turn around, go home.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been a week, and the structure's there. And where I was going with this is tomorrow's Saturday, and while I've got my little thing, and at noon I grab something, I drive to the park, I come back at 1, at least so I have a change of scenery. Which do you do anything like that?
I'll go downstairs a few times a day.
You should get out of the house. Either walk around the neighborhood or, go to Heritage Park or Pioneer Park and just get a change of scenery.
And yeah, in the beginning of the week, I was like, yeah, well, it was too much. So I would leave the house, but yeah,
it's
all I would do is just go to the gas station and get a Red Bull or something.
Yeah,
which isn't healthy.
Get in the car. Yeah. But anyway, I keep trying to finish this point. So tomorrow's Saturday. So no 9 a.m., no 4 p.m. And I've already busted out my old Northern Exposure DVDs, and I've restarted Better Call Saul from season 1, and it's just different. Right now I was disappointed when they canceled March Madness because, I like college sports, but I'll find other diversions. But I'm still going to be in this house more or less all day long.
Yeah.
But tomorrow's going to feel different because it's Saturday. No calls, no structure, don't have to do anything. So, to me, that's kind of bizarre.
What's that
7 days. 7 days. In the first couple of days, I'm like, I'm going to get cabin fever. And I think I do have a little bit of cabin fever, but again, it's just, it feels like the weekend. And I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah, my little Skype sessions, like conference calls during the day, and it's with a webcam, which is like nice. You're like, oh hey, what's up, boss or whatever, buddy from the office. And then I find myself now, like at the end of those meetings, being like, oh, just hang on, just stay, just
Oh,
like
really?
be
Oh my
around
gosh.
me more. Yeah, it's like I'm like struggling for connection. It's really beating down on me. Like I need to be around people.
Well, this is
It's tough.
This to me feels like interaction. You're not right next to me, but I'm looking at you and we're engaging.
Yeah, and,
But
we're doing
it's
something
not
fun,
the same. It's not the same. I'll tell you.
No.
It's how fucking dumb were we? This was happening around the world. Yeah, it was leaving China. How fucking dumb were we that it wasn't like we didn't realize this is coming. This is coming.
Shut the borders everywhere. Yeah.
What?
That's what they should have done.
There was a guy who's a disease expert, and he was like, it was going to get here. Look at the global pandemic, the flu. They called it the Spanish flu. I think it was H1N1. I think it was swine flu. In 1918, it went around the whole world and killed between 50 and 100 million people around the whole world. And people were taking slow boats from one place to the next. And all it takes is a handful of people because you got the multiplier. Yeah, it's funny. It's before your time. There was an ad on and I wanted to play it, but we can't play it because of copyright. It's a shampoo ad. And this woman says, and it's kind of like, that Brady Bunch with the heads. And she's sitting there and she said, I told 2 friends, and the box goes to 2, and they told 2 friends, and it goes to 4, and they told 2 friends, and it goes to 8, and then 16, and this happens.
And we work at Amway.
But that ad would be something that would explain to people, like, if you get sick, this shampoo ad shows what you do. If you succeed at not getting sick,
you saved
if
that.
If the R factor, they say it's between 3 and 4. So if you get infected, you infect 3 point something people. So 3 people, right? And then
Wait,
that
it's
person
up to 3 or 4? I thought it was 1.3.
What I heard was between 3 and 4.
That's fucking insane. Wow.
If it were in the low ones, you wouldn't be seeing what you're seeing, and they wouldn't be as worried, from what I've learned. And I've done a lot of reading and listening. Every freaking lecture and podcast I can get, and then anyway, where'd you hear 1 point something? Do you remember?
That might have been early on.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I thought it was 1 point something, 1.3. I don't know.
It's-
We could look it up, but
Yeah. But anyway, just to illustrate to people how much you help by not getting sick. One of the things that's scary is it seems like the attitude is, especially among, college kids, and you have some firsthand knowledge of this, is they're like, fuck it. Fuck it, I'm young. It's not going to affect me. Yeah, what happens?
I even feel like that. I'm like, I'm invincible. Like, it doesn't matter. But, like, at the end of the day, I also live in a house with 2 people who are not necessarily invincible,
But you're not invincible. People your age, it's rare, but, get really sick too.
Yeah.
And, another thing, I mean, young people just got to, one, if you get sick, you're going to be responsible. Somebody, if that's the attitude, a lot of people are going to die because of it. A lot.
Yeah.
All you got to do is get, 1 or 2 older people sick who live in a nursing home. And then it spreads like wildfire. And one irresponsible person killed, 5, 6, 8, 10 people who had 5 or 10 or 20 more good years.
Yeah.
But I saw a spring break clip. I saw I was amazed last Saturday that people went out en masse to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. On Tuesday, my 3rd day of work at home, my 3rd day of stay the fuck away from people, even at work, a person posted a St. Patrick's Day service. And there was a church full of people shoulder to shoulder at a St. Patrick's Day service. And I'm like, is the church out of its mind? And how stupid are these people?
Right.
We're talking, 3 days ago?
That's fucking insane.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So what happens when all the college kids come home?
Oh. Like, that's the thing they should do, is isolate the college kids. Like, let them stay where they are, but, like, keep them away from other high-risk people. So, like, let them infect each other. Like, that should be fine, right? It's going to happen, too. Clearly, they're not demonstrating that they're going to make any change to do that. So if you isolate the college kids from other people, you're really saving it, because they're going to get sick and, maybe a fraction, the tiniest sliver of the entire, each decile or decile die.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that was part of the strategy. Who knows what the reality is behind some of what they're doing to mitigate this all?
Like, my brother's still up there. You know, he could fucking have it for all I know. And he's just like toughing it out. But,
But he's like having fun and hanging out with people too, right?
yeah, right. So they're not doing social distancing because you're fucking, 20 years old and you're an idiot. But whatever. Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, this is the second episode. We're just so fucking into. We should do Sunday. We should do a happy episode.
Okay. We're gonna have to.
This is so sad.
It is, but it's it's what's going on. I mean we're
Yeah.
always talking about what's going on, but we just have fun with the sarcasm. I mean, look, the Greta Thunberg. We had a lot of fun, kind of taking her down. Right, that was fun.
Should be across the ocean. Oh, she's gonna die from this. I can call it. I'm calling it right now. God, this is a lightning bolt for Greta Thunberg.
Oh, that's harsh, dude. That's harsh. That
Cooking.
anyway.
I was calling it. It wasn't like wishing ill upon her. I was just saying, I bet you that this will happen. Just to reiterate. She'll probably be fine.
Yeah, I'm a superstitious guy. Anyway.
We're talking about sarcasm.
Yes. 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 That took it to a different level though.
Sorry.
In a serious time. In a serious time. Yeah, all right. We got to put our thinking caps on. And what's fun and fruity? Fuck, maybe you know what? You know what I was thinking about doing? Having an episode where or we talk about the shit we like. Fancy watches. Sound and speaker stuff.
Stupid WAP jewelry. Yeah.
Stupid WAP jewelry.
Guns. Oh, I'm at my house now. I can just do guns all day long now.
There you go. Don't put a hole in your leg.
Yeah, that'd be
Oops.
fun. Let's do that on
Shit.
Sunday.
Hey, there's
What?
blood coming out. Yeah, I mean,
Oh shit.
sound and speakers and music, totally into that. I jammed out
Yeah.
today at 4:00. I poured one of my little half chalices of tequila and threw on a new song I discovered and rocked out for the dogs hate how loud I turn up the music and just
They're like
just chilled. Yeah, basically a doggy version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a gadget person. Buying that computer just
So am I. I always try to. Yeah.
buying the computer made me
I was
happy.
gonna say I always try to find stuff for you, but whatever.
I told you I was having a conversation with a friend earlier and got squirreled. All this, so people can't see it, but there's a lot of equipment, cameras and a monitor, and then the computer and all the shit that makes the cameras go in and work. Setting all this up was as much fun as doing the podcasts and fiddling with it
Yeah,
and all that.
it's cool.
Setting this
Well,
up.
making it work.
Yeah. Getting this window and this
Yeah.
remote call, and that was all part of the fun for me.
And you just gave me this little basket, and you're like, boom, you're good to go. Sure enough, here we are doing a podcast, for which I did nothing, by the way, folks. Chris prepared all this shit. It just came prepackaged, and he was just like, take and go. Come take. That was it. Molan Lab. Nothing different.
Yeah, so I'll brag a little here. So I took a laptop and I figured out how to make, the people who make the software did, but I learned it and put together a computer and plugged in a microphone and plugged in a camera and set it all up, and there's this dial in, and this goes through its own kind of intranet. It's not like a Skype thing. Charlie's not Skype. This is proprietary to this software. And I put it all in, I have my own private kind of like shopping baskets that you get at the market, and put it all in it and said, it's on the driveway. Come get it. And did you literally just turn it on? I was wondering if it was going to get all tangled and you were going to have to plug them back into into the wrong
It
holes.
did get all tangled, but it was only one.
There's
There's only two things that
cords.
need to be plugged in the entire thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was easy, but
That was fun
Um,
figuring that out. You know, I just
like,
went
look,
in the
like,
other
you just-
room and logged in.
like look at that. Just like a little mini, all that shit right there. That's all it was. It's easy. Just got it good to go. Just literally, I just turned it on and it worked fine.
All right, let's.
Yeah.
I want to do something now. I'm going to geek out, and I don't know if we're going to lose people on this, but fuck it. I was going to say I can send a link to your phone email, and you can have your phone.
Yeah.
We could have another window.
Oh, on the phone. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, this will support 8 call.
Wait, so we can do. Wait, so we can do like a remote? I can do my phone camera.
Well, that would be a second call in. So my master
So
software.
I can. But I'm still watching us. That's funny.
So you've got like slave software on that computer, and this program is like
Oh wow, we've been going for.
How long we been on?
Yeah. Hour and 5 minutes.
Wow, that went fast.
Yeah.
So
Time
maybe we
flies when
wrap.
you're quarantined.
Right. Anyway, so I can have the window with you, 8 people.
Oh wow. Jeez.
So yeah,
We should do that. We should do 8 just for fucking fun.
yeah, just do a goofy
Why
theme.
not?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could do a what was that thing that Malice did, like with drinking, or I mean, you wouldn't
Arduous March.
arduous march. Do something fun where you
Yeah.
get 8 people, and I don't know. 8 people would be crazy because you'd all be talking over. You'd have to have some kind of activity, something goofy and fun.
Because like even you and me, there's a delay. Just tiny bit.
Yeah, it's brief though.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's figure something out.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I'm finding I invited a guy I used to work with who retired, who I thought would have jumped at the chance to either, do this remotely or sit at the pool table and be a guest. And he's like, no, that would make me nervous. He's like,
Was it my dad? Just kidding.
this guy was a general manager of a division of a Fortune 1000 company. And he's like, I do not like talking in front of people. I would not be good with a microphone in front of my face. And I'm like, wow. Your dad was that way?
But there's nobody there.
Yeah, I've only... there are people there, or there are going to be people there. And I've asked, I don't know, 6 or 8 different people, and they're like, no interest. Don't want to be on the internet.
That's probably smart. You just keep a
And then
low profile.
I've had a couple people say, wow, your podcast is pretty good. I couldn't do that. I'm like, we're just talking. Just turn on
We
a
are
computer.
this. Couldn't do this. Yeah. Yeah.
Just turn on a computer and just
It's
start
fun.
spewing shit. Pretending like you know, right? Pretending like you know what you're talking about. I
That's
think
the
it was
biggest
Jack
piece.
Welch. Somebody at work. I stole this from somebody who stole it from somebody else. But as an employee or a leader, sometimes wrong, never in doubt.
Sometimes wrong, never in doubt. There you go. That's good. Confidence is key.
Just go. Just go. Make decisions, go.
Yeah.
And if you fuck up and you get it wrong, you can't think of mutate and you say morph, big deal. Big deal.
That's good. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Sometimes wrong, never in doubt. Dude, you got to get out of the house. Like you've got a you're not you.
I'm thinking about it right now.
Are you?
No, I'm yeah.
You need to.
Ridiculous.
Did you ever hear the story about your dad and me losing at euchre and we had to run around the house in our boxers?
No.
We were out west. We were playing euchre, and it was getting boring, or I don't know. Somebody started flapping their gums, and they're like, all right, fine. Loser to next hand runs around the house, and it's 15 degrees out, runs around the house in their boxers. So your dad and I lost. So we had to strip down to our boxers and run around the house. And it turns out, how like when it kind of gets warm during the day and there's a lot of snow and it melts and then it freezes. And if you walk on it.
Yeah, it's like.
Well, no, you walk on it and you like bust through.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's like sharp. It can cut you.
It's exactly. And so we had to run around the house.
Yeah.
We came back. Our shins were bloody. Like literally bloody. We're like, holy moly. That wasn't so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
Those are my favorite stories, though. Like,
all right, I'm going to tell you a very brief favorite story. I thought of this. Your dad and I talked about a guy. So there was this guy, Rick T. His last name starts with a T. And I've already divulged that I'm into sound and speakers and sound gadgets and the whole bit. So one of our speakers, and at our fraternity, we had big open parties and big closed and invitation parties. And we had the dance parties on campus. So we had serious speakers, and one of them, I don't know, somehow got destroyed. And it wasn't a concert type, like those black speakers you see stacked on top when you go see, somebody huge at a rock and roll concert. So I'm like, all right, we're going to go to this store. It was called Wonderland Music. It was one of two stores in the whole kind of Metro Detroit area. And they sold that shit, like serious band road stuff. And I said, let's go buy some speakers. So he was the social chairman at the time, and he had a budget. And we went there, and I know his budget for speakers was like $750. And I'm like, we're not getting out of here for like less than like a couple grand, And so we get in there, and I'm like, these were the speakers we need. And it was conservatively what we needed. And I don't remember if it was $2,000 or $3,000. And he had a blank check that the treasurer of the fraternity had given him. And I'm like, Rick, man. Yeah. I'm like, Rick, we got to buy these speakers. He's like, I'm going to get in so much trouble. I'm like, okay, think of this. You're going to get these speakers. We're going to take them back, and the house is going to rock. You're going to be a fucking hero. And he's like, God, you're right. And I have him all fucking pumped up, man. I just have the guy, I got him on drugs. Like adrenaline's flowing through. He's like, I'm going to do this.
You're right.
I'm going to spend all this money. We are going to have the best parties ever. And I'm like, dude, you're going to go home. We're going to be heroes, and you're going to be the guy. I don't want any credit. So we bought these speakers, just spent like 5 times what we were supposed to, and got totally admonished. But then when the music came on the next Friday or Saturday night, the place rocked. And they were like, okay, money well spent. So I just remember this guy
That's awesome.
Yes. That fraternity took a lot of guys who were kind of good guys, fun, good to be around guys, and turned them from kind of milquetoasty guys into kind of having the sometimes wrong but never in doubt attitude. Come on, Rick, you're going to be...
That's good.
We spend this money, you're going to be a hero. And he's like, yeah, let's run through that wall.
He's like, what?
Yeah,
That's
it
funny.
was a good night, man. It was a good night.
Was my dad the treasurer at the time?
He might have been.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck? Why are you spending money on these speakers? Yeah. He tells me about his time.
It paid off because they lasted. They lasted years. I mean, we bought really super good loud versions of home speakers. And I remember one of the speakers got kicked in because it didn't have metal grills on it. So I'm like, we got to buy, we got to spend some money. Yeah. And I knew, I'm like, I'm the guy who has to go. Anyway, that was fun. We should end it there.
That's good shit. No, you're right. That's good.
Good story, laughs.
In times like this, nostalgia will get you through it.
Yes. Yeah. Looking back on good times, looking forward. I mean, the world will get through this. Our families will get through this. Our country will get through this. It's just going to be choppy seas. It's going to be choppy seas. And that was my message last night. When you see it, it's pretty somber. If you look at, 10 minutes, I was just like, the people you love, tell me you love them and tell me you love them again. The people you hug them and hug them harder. It's just, that's what you do in times like this. And you tell stories about taking Rick and talking him into buying speakers and going home a hero. All right, what do you think? Time to go?
Sure, yeah, I'm loving it. I wish I had a good story for myself, but I'll save it for Sunday.
All right, you think of it.
Ones.
All right, peace out.
All right.
That doesn't mean you and I have to go. Peace out. All right, later, people. I'm going to skip the music. Stay safe.